This is me dressed in full Deadpool cosplay in order to get the attention of one person, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool himself. Why? Because in the world of marketing, attention is the most valuable resource you can get. And when I got the attention of Ryan Reynolds, I also got the attention of thousands of business owners in this room at the most premier marketing event of the year, HubSpot's Inbound.
Ryan, how do we get attention? Yeah, well, you done. We did it. You done it. You can sit down and call your mom and let her know. We did it. We did it. We did it, Mom.
By the way, Ryan, you still owe my mom a phone call. Here's a disclaimer. This whole thing was planned. Planned, not staged. And that's because with this sign, we never could have scripted this outcome. We've been planning for 6 months prior to this event, figuring out how are we going to make our splash into the HubSpot ecosystem. We hired some of the best HubSpot talent. We invested into the best technology we could. We even talked to and surveyed over 100 HubSpot partners ahead of the event just to learn how we might fit in. And when we saw that Ryan Reynolds was the keynote speaker on the final day, we knew we had to get his attention because we knew getting his attention in that massive conference hall would help our business. But we didn't know how it would help our business.
I was not expecting anything more than 33 people.
It's an intimate environment, right?
Yeah, Ryan, how, this sign right here, Ryan, how do we get attention? Yeah, well, you done.
We did it.
You done it. You can sit down and call your mom and let her know. We did it. We did it. We did it, Mom. I'll call her if you want.
Check out how many phones were up recording this part of his session, because it was right at the beginning that he came out. How many of these phones do you think have a video of Deadpool dressed in a lab coat on them? A lot. While getting the attention of Deadpool himself was our grand finale, it was only a small part of our plan. Prior to the event actually starting, we got to the convention center a day early so we can film ads. We could film pieces of content in the Deadpool costume and as a team with our lab coats. We then leveraged these videos to start conversations with people at the event, and we used them to promote on LinkedIn, Instagram, and other channels. Kyle Jepson, who is actually HubSpot's chief evangelist and makes a ton of amazing content around HubSpot, told us that he saw someone walking around the convention center watching our video on their phone. And that is pretty cool. The unofficial HubSpot partner platform review that you can get down on the link if you're watching this and you want that we did also served as another foot in the door for us to start conversations with people. And we had hundreds of conversations as a team. We did that as we all walked around with giant iPads in our hand so we can show that unofficial HubSpot publication that we did along with the ads that we filmed. Those iPads were super powerful. I will never go to an event again without one. And when someone actually wanted to download our review, all they had to do was scan the back of our lab coats, which was just another funny part of the process. Oh my gosh, a QR code is literally embroidered into the back of your lab coat. And that served as a much better lead capture for us than just tapping badges with someone. We also brought hundreds of business cards, except our business cards were on prescription pill bottles. Inside of them were Lifesaver mints, but they were also plastered with our information about our company, our contact information, the ingredients, custom CRM solutions, sales process optimization, sales enablement. Warning, working with the CloseDr will prevent all leads from slipping through the cracks. They were funny. And since they had multiple mints inside of these, people would share these mints with people. It was so funny to watch them pull it out and share a mint with someone, and then they were forced to talk about the pill bottle. Our team wore these custom lab coats with our names on them every single day, dressing the part as doctors. We had stethoscopes around our necks, although I'm not sure real doctors do that. We carried around little medicine bags, and those medicine bags were filled with all of our business cards. And we then took those medicine bags, shout out to Mariah on the team for just being such a great sport, and we walked around the convention center and we dropped them on purpose over and over and over again. People would flock to Mariah to help her out because people are so nice. And while they did that, they got a good laugh checking out what the heck did these doctors just drop on the floor. People were shaking hands. They were starting conversations with each other. They were starting conversations with us. And these conversations ultimately turn into relationships that they might not hold value at that moment. There's not a credit card being swiped or a wire transfer at that moment. But those relationships can be built over time with our brand and will prove to be powerful and will prove to be more beneficial. And this is only half of what we did at this event. We didn't even have a booth. In order to get even more people talking about our brand, we spent $800 on a brand new iPhone. We had it in box and we carried it around with us everywhere we went at Inbound. The conversations that we had with people where we were showing them the ad or we were showing them the partner platform review ended with, hey, you know, do you want to get the review? Scan the QR code. Or, hey, here's my business card. I know it's silly. And then we would say, hey, can we take a photo with you? Everyone would say yes. We would snap a photo. Can we post this on LinkedIn and say something nice about you and your company? Of course. Hey, by the way, once you press repost on that photo, I'm going to make sure my team enters you for a chance to win this brand new iPhone. And then we gave away that iPhone on Friday. We took over 130 photos with people and 70 of them got reposted. I can't see all the analytics on their end of the repost, but some of the engagement on these posts is crazy. 50 reactions, 60 reactions. So I know that had to be a bonus tens of thousands of impressions, if not 100,000 plus impressions for a little $800 iPhone. And some of these reposts and the things that people were saying were amazing. People loved our company, loved our energy, loved our brand. In addition to all of this, we went around to some of our favorite vendors and new vendors that we actually wanted to build relationships with. And Jordan on our team, shout out Jordan, filmed interview style content with them so we could make a good piece of content with our brand and their brand in the same video. And filming a good piece of content for another brand is a good way to get on their good side. How much money did we spend on this event? Well, it was a little bit more than the dollar or whatever we spent on the sign and the marker. We spent $25,000. And that was for 3 people to travel thousands of miles, myself from Colombia, Jordan from Nicaragua, to get hotels at a nice hotel, to get all the Ubers back and forth to the convention center, all the food, all the travel, all the materials that we bought, the iPads that we bought, the phone that we bought. And for a startup company like us that's bootstrapped, that's quite the investment. But the relationships we built from that event, the clarity we got from that event, and the energy we have as a team from that event were well worth it. So what's next is we're going to be doubling down on everything. We're going to carry that energy and all those lessons into every next thing that we do. Our brand, our team, our education, all of it. And what made this so easy for us to do as a team is we didn't go out to dinner every night and try to build relationships with people, which I know there's value in doing that if you're trying to close business. But our goal was attention. And that was super important, was keeping our eyes on the goal. And every night we went out as a team and we sat down and asked ourselves, how can we get better? How can we get better? What can we do tomorrow to get better? And we would build a game plan every single night before we went to the convention the next day. And the next day we would execute on that game plan. And we heard that word so often from people, along with us being called, legendary and epic. We heard the word execution. Your team knows how to execute. And that's because we put our brain power and our thought and our energy behind it because we care about it. It's important to us. The same way we approach client relationships. We care about them. They're important to us. And what we care about as a business, even though this is a video about our marketing stunts, is we care about building sales processes that people actually use. Yes, as simple as it sounds, we want to build the sales process that someone follows. They follow it at scale. We're CRM agnostic, we're tech stack agnostic, but we care about the you. And how could I almost forget that? Of course, we did man with the sign bit. Jordan stood there with, it's not your CRM, it's you. I stood there, same sign in the Deadpool costume. And we had to have hundreds of photos, 300 or 400 photos and videos taken of us as we're holding this sign. People taking photos with us as we're holding this sign. And the message that we're spreading is that the person behind the sales process and their relationship with the sales process, how they feel about following the sales process, whether or not they actually change the deal stage inside of your CRM, determines whether or not that automation actually gets followed. So that person, the human being behind the sales process, will determine the success of that sales process itself. Best sales process is one that gets followed. So, did getting attention work? You tell me. Just watch this clip of man on the street style interview that we did in New York City the weekend after the event.
Do you work in sales?
I'm sorry?
Do you work in sales?
Yes, I do.
Do you use a CRM?
Yes, I use. I was with you on inbound on Boston.
Inbound at Boston?
Yeah.
You saw
I saw
us?
this guy there.
You're kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I
No!
was there, man.
Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Thanks.